Arizona. Our coverage of spring training in the Cactus League continues here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. The sun just starting to poke out now. We're inside Maryvale Baseball Park here for the Giants and the Brewers this afternoon, and it's great to have you aboard for spring training baseball. I'm Craig Kashan in for Brian Anderson this afternoon, of course, along with Bill Schroeder. Thanks for taking a break from basketball for just a bit here. We've got a good one here this afternoon. We're looking forward to it. And one of our topics that we want to talk about, who's leading off for the Brew Crew and what will the next 2 weeks really transpire for Milwaukee at the top of the order as Ron Renneke makes decisions. Carlos Gomez is going to be up there today. Scooter Gennett, also another viable option.
First of all, good to see you. Did you bring this weather? It's been beautiful, not a cloud in the sky.
You can blame me.
You're the only missing link here. But anyway, you're right. I mean, things have been going pretty good for this Brewers ball club. And it's going to be up to Scooter Gennett as the way this lineup shakes out. Ron Renneke ideally would like to have Scooter at the top of the order, but that's going to be dependent on his on-base percentage and particularly how he does against left-handed pitching. And he has been hanging in there so far against the lefties, but if he's not able to do it, probably see him down at the bottom of the order. The guys have a great guy to fill in for that role. He's been doing that now for a couple of years. The Brewers MVP a couple of years ago. You can see how consistent Gomez has been since signing that 3-year contract a few years ago. Very consistent with the batting average. The on-base percentage continues to be pretty good. The only real difference right there is 1 home run. So if Scooter's not able to get that job done at the top of the batting order, Carlos Gomez fit in there nicely.
All right, there are options, and they will continue to weigh those out. Browns crew's been working real hard so far here today. We're going to have baseball when we come back. Giants and Brewers. Tyler Thornburg on the hill for Milwaukee. Stay with us. Maryvale, it's the Brewers and the Giants here this afternoon, and there's Bruce Bochy going with that short haircut here this spring. He's been battling some health issues at the beginning of the spring training here, but is healthy again and looking good. And of course his Giants, the winner of the 2014 World Series, and they are back at it here in Cactus League action against Milwaukee. It's going to be the former Brewer Nori Aoki at the top of the order leading things off for the Giants. And it's going to be Joe Panik and then Brandon Belt. So it'll be the first 3 as we take a look at our Potawatomi Giants batting order here today. And the Giants will face a spot starter in Milwaukee's Tyler Thornburg here this afternoon. He is out on the hill ready to make his first spring start. And he goes in place of Mike Fiers here today.
Yeah, the Brewers are trying to stretch him out in the event that they need a start, just like they did today. Mike Fiers, a little bit of shoulder soreness. He did throw on the side, so nothing really serious for Mike Fiers. But, you know, Thornburg is a guy that the Brewers want to stretch out. He's thrown in now 4 appearances in spring training, and all but 1 of them have been for more than 1 inning. So Thornburg gets the start. Expect 3 innings out of him today.
And so Aoki is ready to step into the batter's box. The Brewers and Giants played the first game of spring training last week in Scottsdale. And here's a look at the Brewers defense, brought to you by Marshfield Clinic.
Hey, you got Matt Long, Gomez, and Braun in the outfield. You got Aramis, Hector Gomez. He's been getting a lot of playing time. Jeanette and Adam Lind, his second consecutive game at first base. Nursing that bad back, and you got Maldonado behind home plate.
First pitch from Thornburg misses down low. This is his first start of a ball game since the end of September of 2013, where he made 4 consecutive starts for the Brewers. Last year in 2014, of course, he was pitching in relief and did an incredible job right out of the gates. 27 appearances in the first 2 months before he felt discomfort in that elbow and had to shut it down in the beginning of June for the rest of the year, which was really a shame individually for him and for the team, the way he was cranking along. And he opens up with a walk against Aoki. So the leadoff hitter reaches for the Giants here this afternoon to start it out.
And Thornburg, the main thing is to prove to the Brewers that he's going to be able to stay healthy. I mean, you talk about it. He was outstanding. Retired the first 21 consecutive batters that he faced last year before going on the disabled list in the beginning of June. Kind of a swing man, long reliever. You can put him in a middle relief and a spot start. That's why he's getting the chance today.
Here's Joe Panik, the second baseman for the Giants. So Aoki over at first. Panik now faces Tyler Thornburg, and he's in for a strike. So Tyler Thornburg, as I mentioned, has not started a game since last September, and talked to him last week as we are actually getting ready to get our preseason show together on Fox Sports Wisconsin. That'll be coming up for you to look for in the next couple of weeks. This time he hits Panik, so Thornburg off the mark here early.
Yeah, Thornburg's been pretty good in his first 4 appearances. As you said, Craig, his first start. Having a rough start to this one today. A walk, and then that one right off the knee of Joe Panik. That's going to feel good. But Thornburg in his 5th appearance, a 135 earned run average, 6 2/3 innings. He's allowed only 1 run, so he's looked good.
Between starting and being the bullpen, and for him it's been one or the other early in his career. Now he's getting a spot start here, but he knew going in that's part of the game plan. Stretch him out a little bit, and you never know if he could, be there for a 6-type starter for the Brewers, if that's one of the ways he's going to make this ball club.
And the Brewers aren't sure who the long man's going to be. Marco Estrada no longer with the ball club. He got traded to the Toronto Blue Jays for Adam Lind, so the swing man long reliever is still up in the air right now, and Thornburg has a pretty good shot at it.
So he faces Brandon Belt. He's ahead 2 strikes to the Giants first baseman, and he strikes him out. So 3 strong pitches, and Thornburg records his first out.
Yeah, Thornburg with the 4 pitches. His changeup has been very good. The fastball's got some good life on it. Maldonado wants a fastball up. He missed his spot, but Belt misses one right down the middle of the plate.
Here's Justin Maxwell now, the right fielder for the Giants. 2 aboard, 1 down here in the top of the first. Giants and Brewers just underway in cactus practice. Fly ball center field. Shallow Gomez racing in, can't make the catch. Quick throw to second base by Braun. And the runner, Panik, just beats the throw. So it's going to be bases loaded now for San Francisco, and 1 down.
Boy, that ball was up in the air a long ways, a long time, and surprising that dropped for a base hit. I think Maxwell's surprised too. Well, the ball, you don't think it's going to carry all that well today. Normally it does, but the air's kind of heavy. You got the cloud cover here at Maryvale. You would think that ball's got to be caught by somebody.
Well, bases loaded is our situation for Hector Sanchez. He's the Giants catcher. Buster Posey didn't make the trip over here, so it's going to be Sanchez behind the plate. Giants off to a very slow start here this spring. Just 4-12-1. They had the day off yesterday, and in fact they got shellacked in their previous game on Tuesday, 10-0 by the Diamondbacks. Enough for their manager Bruce Bochy, and a nice changeup by Thornburg to say, you know what, time to get the offense going here.
Of course, the Giants don't do much until the All-Star break anyway.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point, Rock.
Yeah, middle of maybe beginning of August into September and through the postseason, at least 3 of the last 5 years.
Thornburg again hits the inside corner and a strikeout. So 2 early strikeouts for Thornburg as he's trying to pitch his way out of trouble here in the first.
Yeah, check it out. Fastball right at the bottom of the strike zone on the corner. And Sanchez, who's looking to be the backup catcher of this ball club, caught looking.
Boy, what a confidence boost this would be for Thornburg to get out of this mess. But one more batter release to go here, and Gregor Blanco, the center fielder, having a good spring at .318 so far. Couple of RBIs. And he checks the swing at ball 1. Well, one thing Thornburg is, as you mentioned, he's had a good spring so far. He's very confident that he can make this club, even though the bullpen is literally down to maybe 1 spot left, with maybe 4 or 5 guys all in pretty good competition right now.
All doing well, throwing the ball. Rob Wooten, another guy that's been throwing well, that right now looks as though he's on the outside looking in, but you never know what can happen. Good problem to have a deep bullpen.
High fly ball again, shallow center. And this one's going to be caught out there, so the Brewers and Jeanette get through the first inning, helping out Thornburg. Could have been a rough start, but he gets through it. No scores to go to the Brewer half of the first. Brewers baseball here in Maryville. There's Ron Renicky, Brewers manager, had his contract extended through the 2016 season today. That was the big news here in Maryville. His team going to the bottom of the first inning now against the San Francisco Giants. And as we talked about off the top of the telecast, it's going to be Carlos Gomez at the top of the batting order for him, and then it's going to be Scooter Gennett and Ryan Braun, followed by Aramis Ramirez, a third baseman. Adam Lynn getting a second straight start at first. Maldonado behind the plate. Hector Gomez at short. Matt Long out in left today, and Tyler Thornburg, who gets a spot start, is also going to bat, it looks like, if he makes it that far into the ballgame. Hopefully the Brewers have a big first and he can get an at bat. What do you say?
I think they're going to be facing Ryan Vogelsong, a veteran right-hander, going to be 38 years old in the month of July this year. His first season in the big leagues was back with the Giants in the year 2000, so he's been around a while. And Vogelsong looking to make this rotation. A battle for that number 5 spot in the rotation with Tim Lincecum.
Well, we saw Tim Lincecum get regulated to the bullpen last year. And so we'll see how it goes for the Giants. Of course, usually a very, very strong pitching staff. As you take a look at his numbers from a year ago, and he strikes out Carlos Gomez to open up the first inning.
And Vogelsong, one of those guys that will come right after you. He's got a good sinker, a curveball to go with it. Flip a changeup up there from time to time, but again, the veteran trying to make this starting rotation.
Brings up Scooter Gennett, Brewers' second baseman today. 286 so far this spring for Scooter. Scooter Gennett, you get the sense when you talk to him every day, he's always has a good personality and very confident, but you get the sense now that this is a veteran talking, and he knows his place right now, which is good after really starting most of the games last year for Milwaukee. This one lined off Vogelson and right to the first baseman Belt, and as luck would have it, Gennett is out.
Yeah, that's a bullet right back through the middle. Not sure where it got Vogelsong. Good at bat by Scooter. Let's see where it gets him. Well, yeah, got him right below the knee, somewhere around the knee area. Kareem's right over to the first baseman, Brandon Belt. Tough break for Scooter.
Quickly 2 down, just 5 pitches in for Vogelsong, and he's here to face Ryan Braun. And Ryan Braun looking, believe it or not, for his first hit of the spring.
Yeah.
12 plate appearances. There's numbers from a year ago.
But Ron Rennicky said he's very happy with the way he's been swinging the bat lately. You know, early on, maybe a little bit tentative. You can't blame him. Looking good in batting practice. I don't think anybody's too concerned about Braun, regardless of what his average is at this point. And just a matter of Ryan being able to go back-to-back. He's expected to go back-to-back games today and tomorrow. Has not done that yet.
Well, you think as much as that thumb bothered him a whole year ago, he needs to just reestablish a comfort level at the plate here this spring with that. And that takes time. You're not playing every day. As you mentioned, he's going to play back-to-backs now for the first time. So about halfway through spring training, things will start ramping up a little bit here, won't they?
Yeah, without a doubt. Guys are going to start getting locked in, a little bit more intensity at the plate.
Fly ball to right field. And that'll be a routine play in the Brewers. A 1-2-3 first against Vogelsong. As Braun continues to look for his first hit of the spring, we'll have plenty more chances here in this one. Go to the top of the second inning. Giants and Brewers here this afternoon. It's good to see the rain has stopped and partly cloudy skies for Tyler Thornburg as he makes a spot start here for Mike Fiers today, and a big outing for Thornburg. He had trouble in that first inning, but only gave up a hit and left the bases loaded, so that's the good news there. He gets set now for the bottom of the order. Joaquin Arias, the third baseman for the Giants, will lead off. Actually, I'm sorry, Brandon Crawford, the shortstop. Got to get myself into scoring mode here, Rock.
Yeah.
First pitch right to Jeanette. One hopper and one down.
You know, it's only the beginning. You know, once they make the changes, good luck to you. That's a play-by-play guy's nightmare. Analyst just sits back and allows the play-by-play guy to identify guys.
I had to laugh because here's Arias now, the third baseman with one down. I had to laugh because, you know, if you ever talk to Uke in the spring, Bob Uecker, he'll always say, you know, it's not his favorite thing, and I'm putting that in polite terms, to call these spring training games. Right.
Yeah.
He said the biggest thing is when you start putting the replacements in. And he said, you know what? He says it's radio. I just leave the starters on the paper and just read right through them.
Nobody knows.
It's radio.
Nobody knows. Yep.
Can't do it on the TV end.
But on TV, I think it's important that you're able to identify these young kids that come in. I mean, they deserve that.
Yeah, he was, of course, kidding, as Uke always does, but. And we'll see him. I mean, as far as the starters go, you're not going to see a full starting lineup just yet. And players, starters, regular players up till now want to get 2, probably 3 at-bats for positions. And pitchers, you're hoping to get maybe 3 or 4 innings out of the starters right now, as Braun in foul territory for the second out.
Well, again, I mean, as you mentioned, it's about halfway through. You know, another week or so, the starters are going to start stretching out. Managers are going to want to use the batting order that they want to use on opening day. And it'll be more like a regular season game the last week of spring training. Brewers do not have any exhibition games at Miller Park this year. They're going to be leaving on Saturday, April 4th, a day off on Easter, and then open up with the Colorado Rockies on April 6th.
Looking forward to that. Love the countdown of spring training to opening day, and it's always good to have the Brewers home for the season opener. You can do that a lot more with the roof at Miller Park, of course. That's one thing they faced today, is everybody woke up here to rain. A home rainout or a home rain delay, just not used to that.
I was talking to some of the folks in the press box here today, and they said, I think that the Brewers and Indians here at Maryville got rained out last year, if I'm not mistaken.
It's rare.
Yeah, it is rare, but it doesn't happen very often. That's why it's so great to have spring training in Arizona. You don't get much rain.
Here's the pitcher, Vogelsong. He goes down on strikes. A nice quick inning for Thornburg. His pitch count at 25, inning and a half in.
We're here at Maryvale, bottom of the second, and just a reminder, get on board for the Brewers 2015 season with the Brewers 10-pack. 10-pack start at just $16 per ticket and include tickets to some of the season's biggest matchups, including rivalry games, all fan giveaways, post-game concerts. For more information, visit brewers.com/10packs.
Nice crowd here at Maryvale. Tyler Thornburg gets the spot start today and had a 9-pitch second inning as he mowed through the bottom of the Giants' order. So he's got that right arm all wrapped up. See him for perhaps another inning. We shall see.
Yeah, it's all about pitch counts, not so much innings at this point for these guys. You figure Tyler's going to be stretched out. Like I said, he's been throwing multiple innings his last 3 appearances before today. An inning and 2/3, and then 2 consecutive outings with 2 innings. So you figure he's going to be around 50 pitches today.
Here's Ramirez to lead off the Brewer half of the second inning, having a real good spring training. 308 the batting average. A couple of doubles, couple of RBIs, and if there was any question who would be the cleanup hitter, Ramirez taking care of that during his at-bats in the spring. He's in that familiar spot again. And boy, what a healthy Ramirez and Braun being that 3-4 punch consistently every day would mean to this club.
I mean, that's pretty much the anchor. I mean, Ron Renneke knows that Braun and Ramirez, where they're going to be in that batting order, 3 and 4. Everybody else is going to be kind of filled in, depending on who the leadoff hitter is.
Big hack by Ramirez.
Yeah, Rami hoping for about 130 games this year. 130 to 140 his final season as a big leaguer.
I don't know if he surprised a lot of people coming in. Maybe making a confirmation as people wondered, how many more years do you think you want to play? And he came into camp and said, I'm pretty sure this is it. And I don't know, I talked to him last week. He said this is for sure it.
Well,
so that's how he's going.
Yeah, he said when we interviewed him on our air a couple of weeks ago, this is it. And there's nothing going to change his mind.
High fly ball center field. Blanco gets underneath this one. And there's the first out of the Brewer half of the second inning. And the big question after that, who will be the future third baseman? The Brewers right now, as long as Ramirez is healthy, don't have to worry about that for 2015 just yet. Here's Adam Lind. There was always concern about who is going to play first, and this is a guy you like to see in there now. The second straight day he's in playing at first base as he battles through his sore back that he's had so far here in spring training. Made his first start at first base yesterday in the Brewers win against the Royals, and right back at it. The bat certainly is fine.
Yeah, he can hit. Doesn't bother him to swing the bat. Running and fielding his position bothers him. That back has been something that's given him problems for a while now, a few years. But 3 innings yesterday and back at it today. They need him to be able to play every day for sure.
Nice catch by the fan here at Maryvale. Loaded with Giants fans and Brewers fans here. The Giants fans, they'll travel around the circuit.
Fair amount of orange.
Yeah. At first, I thought we were getting ready for deer season.
Yeah.
Not the case. Especially here in March. High and tight to Lind. Yeah, he's having a good spring at the plate. 5 for 10 in the limited action that he has seen. But this is the good news here, getting right back out there in consecutive starts. This one chopped foul again.
Yeah, Brewers are going to have some pop in their lineup for sure when you have Gomez and Braun, Ramirez, Lind, and Chris Davis. Lucroy can get you the extra base hit. Yeah, there's 52 doubles last year. Just a matter of where they're going to be in the batting order. That's the big question.
Today with Lucroy out, it's Lind batting 5th, and he takes strike 3. So 2 down. As Vogelsong punches him out.
Yeah, both starters seem to have pretty good stuff. The Brewers have yet to reach base.
5 up, 5 down so far for Vogelsong against Milwaukee. Couple of strikeouts. Here's Martin Maldonado, the Brewer catcher today. Another good spring for Martin Maldonado. Got the bulk of the work behind the plate. First 10 games or so before Jonathan Lucroy was able to come back. This one popped foul straight back.
Yeah, Lucroy able to tag up on a ball in the outfield yesterday, going from second to third, and doesn't appear to be any issues with that hamstring at all.
Well, at some point, you knew he was going to try it, and we're halfway through here, and he's been feeling so good and progressed so quickly. And he was able to make it through yesterday. Brewers had a nice win against the Royals, 8-4. Talk about some of the pop in that lineup yesterday. Chris Davis.
Gerardo Parra with a 3-run homer.
Parra, a big home run. 4 RBIs for him and 3 for Davis yesterday. Pitch just misses. Vogelsong thought he had strike 3. Full count now to the Brewer catcher.
Thing about Maldonado, he's got a really good eye at the plate, not afraid to take a walk. Having a nice spring. Signed a 2-year contract in the offseason.
What a difference it makes to have somebody of his quality and value to back up an all-star catcher.
Yeah. He can catch, no doubt about that. He's made some incredible throws this spring already.
And, you know, part of the idea with Lynn coming over at first base, facing left-handed pitching, was to put Lucroy potentially over there as maybe option B and let Maldonado catch a little bit more. That may still happen.
And you're able to keep Lucroy's bat in the lineup.
Right.
It's nice to have a guy that you can count on, who can stay sharp defensively and get a big hit for you.
There's called strike 3 on Maldonado. Vogelsong looking strong here in the first 2 innings. 6 up, 6 down. Go to the top of the 3rd inning. Join Fox Sports Wisconsin for UW Milwaukee and Marquette University College Night when the Bucks battle the Pacers Thursday, March 26th. Get a $15 ticket plus your choice of either a UW Milwaukee or Marquette University Retro Bucks t-shirt in your school colors and beverage. Plus, the first 10,000 fans of the game will receive a Bucks cap. To take advantage of this special offer, visit bucks.com/BucksU and enter promo code UWMRUSH or MARQ Rush. That's a lot right
That's
there.
a mouthful.
That's needs a collegiate degree to read that thing correct.
Bucks are going to be in the playoffs, right?
Bucks better be in the playoffs.
You know
They're
a little bit
struggling
about
right
the
now.
Milwaukee Bucks.
They've had quite a turnaround season. There's no question about that. Aoki leads off the 3rd, and that first pitch right to Braun, 4 and out.
And not many changes for this Giants ball club. I mean, you win the World Series 3 of the last 5 years. You win it last year, and only 2 guys gone from last year for San Francisco, Michael Morse and Pablo Sandoval. So what do? They bring in a couple of former Brewers. They've got Aoki to play left, and Casey McGee will be over at third base this year to replace Sandoval. Big shoes to fill. But they do have him back. Well, he's making a run to be a Hall of Fame manager, isn't he?
Boy, I tell you, the difference of Bruce Bochy with this club, they have won the World Series now 3 times. It's like the even years. So this is the odd year, so it must be somebody else's turn here. And this one hit well and out of the ballpark. A home run for Panic. And the Giants grabbed the lead early here in the 3rd inning off Tyler Thornburg.
Yeah, Aoki hit one right on the nose, but lined it to Braun. This time, Panic. Second time through the batting order, getting a pretty good swing. Looked like something off speed. Not sure what it was. Maybe a curveball, but Panic able to wait back, knock it out of here. Nice addition to this ball club for the Giants. Came up early in the season, rookie season, and really fit in nicely. Top of the order.
That was his 2nd home run of the spring. And here's one more look.
Man, that was a fastball. Not sure what I was thinking, but that was a fastball down the middle, and Panic turned it around way back and right.
Here's Belt, who struck out back in the 1st inning. Another big name missing right now for the Giants, and will be missing until the end of April, is Hunter Pence. Broke a bone in his left forearm. 2nd spring training game of the year against the Cubs. And so that'll sideline him for nearly 2 full months.
Yeah.
But they're lucky it's only a month of the regular season.
Yeah, he knew right away that he was in trouble after getting hit by that pitch. But that's a big loss to have, to start your season. Hunter Pence, leader in that clubhouse. Sandoval, you could say the same thing about. So I guess the Giants are looking for some leadership in that dugout.
Well, the good news for an injury like that is they'll still have 5 full months to go. And like you said, the Giants don't hit anyway until July.
They don't do much until the All-Star break, right? At least that's the way it's been for them.
Well, the Giants and Royals turned out to be kind of a model for a lot of major league teams, the way they got to the World Series, the way they performed, especially by the way they were able to pitch.
One-man wrecking crew last year against the Royals.
Yeah.
Madison Bumgarner. Boy, he worked a lot last year. I don't even just, the postseason. I think he worked 25 some innings last year in the postseason.
He was on a different planet, wasn't he?
Yeah. He worked almost 250 innings last year.
It's amazing. That is throwback central right there.
Came out early in his last start in spring training. 2 innings. Came out, but did throw down in the bullpen.
And Belt able to check his swing to draw a walk.
Bumgarner's been on teams that have won 3 World Series, and he's 25 years old.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
Talk about a cornerstone for this franchise. That brings up Justin Maxwell now. He had a base hit back in the 1st inning. Yeah, Bruce Bochy battled some health issues very early in spring training. Had to have a couple of valves cleaned out.
Yeah.
There's a couple of stints in there now. Missed about a week of action or so, and he looks good, doesn't he?
Amazing what they can do these days, huh? Wow.
Good to see. One of the good guys in baseball, no doubt about that.
Former catcher. He's had a terrific managerial career with the Padres and now the Giants.
Strike at the outside corner on Maxwell. He might get some competition from the Padres this year in the West.
Yes, sir.
They really have altered their look, needless to say.
Got some pitching. They pick up James Shields. They got a new outfield. Matt Kemp. Upton. I mean, they have a chance to be pretty good.
One hopper. Handled by Ramirez. A relay throw a little bit late from Jeanette.
Yeah, Ramey's having a tough time throwing the baseball this spring. Had a difficult time getting the handle on that. That should have been a double play ball. A couple of throwing errors last week for Ramirez. And normally that's the most solid part of his game, throwing the baseball. Yeah, one hopper, that's got to be a double play. And throw a little bit off the mark, and Jeanette not able to turn it.
Maxwell on the fielder's choice. He's at first. 2 down for Sanchez. A run is in here as Joe Panik hit a solo home run with 1 down. And that's all the scoring so far. This one lined into left. A base hit. Maxwell races into third. So 2 aboard for the Giants. First and third with 2 down.
That was a heck of a swing right there by Sanchez. Went down and got it. Just sliced it into the gap out there in left center. And Maxwell able to get around to third base.
Well, let's see if Thornburg can get out of this mess the way he was able to get out of the first when he last faced Gregor Blanco, as the base is loaded. And Blanco flew out to Scooter Jeanette to strand those 3 on base. 2 aboard here with 2 down. You know, this would be a big get for Thornburg right here.
Tyler's been trying to mix up his pitches. He's been throwing some pretty good curveballs, some change-ups. That fastball is always a good pitch for him in the mid-90s. There's a good located fastball right on the outside corner. Or should I say well-located fastball?
We'll go with well-located.
This came marching out of the desert talking like that.
Well, that happens out here.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's actually kind of nice seeing some cloud cover, you know, from time to time. I know the players like it. Good that we were able to get this game in.
Yes, it is. And on time. 0-2 pitch misses low. And especially with the big crowd here, you know, it was raining here about 11 o'clock when we got here, and they were lined up, weren't they?
Yes, they were. Sellout here at the ballpark. No way the Brewers are going to call this one. Players would be out there with water wings if they had to.
That's all right. Whatever works. Loosen them up a little bit, right?
Get it in. Get that gate.
This one slapped to left, but foul.
Brewers have been drawing pretty well this spring. I think this is one of the best springs that they've had as far as attendance goes. Had a big crowd. What was it, Saturday against the Cubs?
Boy, it was jammed in here on Saturday.
Even bigger crowd today.
I can guarantee you there were a lot of people that couldn't get over to this complex. It was so crowded in the streets out here in Maryvale.
Right.
Rain has dried up, and of course the ground dries up quick around here in the dry air, so the blankets out there in the outfield are working pretty good.
Hey, everything just sucks up all the moisture when it rains. It doesn't stay wet very long. Still having a good time out there in the hill.
Everywhere you go, you see Brewer fans around town, around the whole area. Saw a lot over in Surprise yesterday, and the Brewers were playing the Royals over there. It's good to tour around. Blanco just staying alive. Thornburg had started out 2 strikes against Blanco. They got a battle going on now.
Yeah, Blanco just getting a piece of that changeup from Thornburg. It's been a good pitch for him today. Just now activity in that Brewers bullpen. I would imagine that Tyler's nearing that 50 pitch mark at 47.
Runner goes, and a base hit into left. Throws that Brewer infield.
Is that a beauty or what? Boy. That's what the Giants do. That's what their offense is all about. They don't hit many homers. They don't play in a ballpark that allows many home runs unless they're down a line. But runner went. Gomez covering second base, and look at Blanco just serves it over there in the vacated area at shortstop. Check that out. That's a beauty. A 2-out run and hit that scores a run.
Two to nothing now, San Francisco. A little meeting out on the hill with Maldonado and Jeanette coming in to talk with Thornburg. Mike Fiers was supposed to start in this game today, and his right shoulder a little tender, but he did do his bullpen session today. Nothing of concern as far as Ron Renicky and Rick Kranitz, a Brewer pitching coach, have any concerns at this point.
I think this is something that the Brewers are okay with right now. I mean, having Thornburg go out there, stretch himself out.
In some form or fashion, you have to think this is a type of test run for Thornburg as well. Again, that bullpen is crowded. There's no question about that.
Yeah, Brewers pleased with the way that bullpen is going to shake out. K-Rod nearing getting on the mound. I think he's going to be throwing tomorrow in the minor leagues.
And this little slapper Jeanette's going to race to the mound and beat Blanco for the third out. So a couple of runs for the Giants. They strand two against Tyler Thornburg, winning a home run by Panic. It is 2-0 Giants here in the third inning.
Maryvale as the Giants have a 2-0 lead. Hey, the Brewers open up the 2015 season against Troy Tulowitzki and the Colorado Rockies Monday, April 6th through Wednesday, April 8th to guarantee your spot at Miller Park. For the Brewers opening series, call 414-902-4000 or go to brewers.com today. I am very anxious to see how the rule, you got to stay in the batter's box, affects Troy Tulowitzki. He has a way of roaming all the way down to third base from time to time between pitches. I mean, he is the poster child for not staying in the box.
Well, there's a few out there, and it's going to be interesting as Hector Gomez, the Brewers shortstop, now leads off the third.
They have not really enforced that rule in spring.
No, but they claim opening day it's going to be the case. So,
but you would think that an umpire would maybe say to a guy, hey, you got to stay in the box here.
Right.
I mean, you haven't seen any of that.
Nope, not at all.
So it's all going to happen on opening day. Ryan Braun's the guy who will roam out of that box from time to time.
Well, there's routines when you have a bat in your hand and you've got the gloves on and you got to get the wrists retightened, get everything set. Some guys do it between every single pitch.
Well, Brawny, he'll leave the box, but he won't roam all the way onto the grass and walk around. I mean, that's what Tulowitzki typically does. And we're going to see it right away. We're going to see how that rule affects him right away.
Right out of the gates.
So that's a reason to tune in and come to the ballpark.
I'm not sure I'm going to be watching for that in opening day. I might watch for that on the second game.
Really?
Too much excitement. Opening day is such a special day, isn't it?
It is.
You're not really going to watch him do that, are you?
Yep.
All right.
That's my job, you know. I can't get caught up on all the fanfare. I got to get down to the nitty-gritty and analyze the game. Talk about what people should be keeping an eye on, right?
And you're right out of the gates with information. I like that.
Isn't that what we do? That's our job.
I still have the hype section of definition to my job with the pregame.
Oh, yeah.
We have an hour-long pregame that day, by the way.
You got Davey, Augie, Sophia.
That's right.
Telly. You got the whole cast.
Whole cast.
Hour-long, right?
You and BA are going to fill us up about 8 minutes, I think, in your open segment.
Can do that easily. On opening day, you betcha.
Here's Matt Long, the Brewer left fielder today.
Not that far away.
Not that far away at all. April 6th. Good spring for Long. 313, a home run, and 5 RBIs.
Yeah, a guy that's trying to win that number 5 outfielder spot. It's been a good battle. Long's had a good spring. Logan Schaefer's had a good spring. We got the 2 Petersons out there who've been playing a lot.
Well, they've also got some options potentially, and a guy like Jimenez who can play first, third, and also a corner outfield spot as well. Long strikes out. Vogelsong on target here through 3 innings of this game so far.
Yeah, Brewers without a base runner so far, and you know, Vogelsong looking good. Got a good curveball today. I mean, so did Tyler Thornburg, but Vogelsong has been able to break out the curve. He's located his fastball well, getting ahead in the count.
And Evan Ashley steps in to bat for Tyler Thornburg. Ashley, a non-roster invitee, one of the Brewer catchers here during spring training.
That's a big man right there. You go up to him around the batting cage, and he's tall and he's well put together.
Hits one up the middle. And he's going to reach base. Crawford can't come up with it. Ashley on base again. So his good spring continues. Put the ball in play. Make him get you out.
Yep, first base runner, and Vogelsong gets inside on him. That ball right up his glove, and that'll be an E6.
So it takes the 9th hitter, a pinch hitter, to finally reach base for Milwaukee here. Let's see if they can get some things going. Carlos Gomez steps in. Big swing and a miss. Gomez struck out to lead off for Milwaukee. In today's batting order, it was Gomez 1 and Jeanette 2. And that opened up part of our discussion about who should be batting leadoff at the top of our telecast. Of course, Gomez did it for the majority of last year. When he was healthy, generally he was the guy. Jeanette, though, would definitely embrace the role. He's probably one of the few, if not the only one, who's flat out said I would love to hit leadoff. I've got no problem with it.
Yeah, and he's been good at it in the last couple of years. He's shown better patience at the plate, particularly this spring. He's got an on-base percentage at about .440. Hitting about .385, drawing some walks, a couple of homers. Having a good spring.
Ron Ronicky has said he wants that on-base percentage to be above .340 for sure, .350, maybe .360 for his leadoff hitter. And then Jeanette's question mark that needs to be solved yet is how successful he's going to be against left-handed pitching. And he's played and seen some of that this spring.
And neither one of them are guys that, typically walk a lot. You certainly don't want to take Gomez's aggressiveness away. He doesn't change who he is as a hitter based on where he's hitting in the lineup, though.
And a big swing by Gomez. Just getting back is Ashley. Good move by Vogelsong.
Yeah, good job by Belt. Give him the sign. He's playing behind Ashley. Not expecting him to run, and nearly picked him off. There he is. Sneaks in. Good throw by Vogelsong, but Ashley able to just barely get back.
This time he goes, and he misses outside, draws the walk, does Gomez. So 2 aboard here with 2 down. An error and a walk.
Yeah, you can see how important these innings are for Ryan Vogelsong. He just missed the outside corner. He wanted that call. It's the second time we've seen him do that. Not a guy that's just trying to get his work in. He's trying to win a job in that rotation. You like the hairdo, the mohawk?
Well, we've seen that with a few players this year, including the Brewers' Chris Davis.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm a big mohawk fan.
I don't think it's you.
No, it's not me. And it wouldn't work. Wouldn't work anymore anyway. It'd be like a half a mohawk.
A mo.
It would be a mo. The hawk has left me. Here's Scooter Gennett, grounded out his first time up. Has a chance to get the Brewers on the board with the base hit here. First and second, 2 down. Well, it's Baumgartner, Matt Cain, Tim Hudson, Lincecum, Jake Peavy, Vogelsong, all trying to secure their spots.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to whether Tim Lincecum is going to be able to get the job done in the starting rotation. And if he is, then Vogelsong will probably be in the bullpen. That's swing man.
It amazes me the crowd enthusiasm and the noise and the ovation that Tim Lincecum commands, no matter where he is and what he is doing. And I say that namely when he's coming out of the bullpen, whether it's regular season or spring. Little ground ball, and Gennett is the final out here in the third. So Vogelsong strong and holds the Brewers off the board through 3. Cousins game summary. We head to the top of the fourth inning now. The Giants with a 2-0 advantage over Milwaukee right now. Panik hit a solo home run in the third inning. And the Brewers offense right now been quieted by Ryan Vogelsong as the Giants go to bat against Jonathan Broxton. And we welcome in today's starting pitcher, Tyler Thornburg, now has been kind enough to put on the headset on pitching for today. And Tyler, you got kind of a spot start today. First of all, what was your reaction, and how do you think things went for you today?
Yeah, they told me yesterday when Fires wasn't feeling that great. I'm always excited when I get an opportunity to start. As far as how it went, I thought it went well. Not too many hard hit balls. You know, trying to get out there for multiple innings so I can start getting a little bit more feel of all the pitches since it's been a good while.
It's kind of going to be your role, though, Tyler. I mean, you know, long relief, perhaps, spot starts. I mean, is that something you're going to be able to adjust to? I mean, such a great job last year in that middle relief, that setup role. Is that something you're going to be able to handle throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's a very tough job. The only thing is, you know, I think 2012 and 13 kind of prepared me for that. Even spring training last year. Thank you very much.
He's getting
and then
the
I have guys like these.
shower.
I have guys like these in the dugout that help me keep things a little bit light.
I think the toughest part of being in the starting rotation is dealing with the other starters throughout the game. Wouldn't you say?
You would think. You would definitely think that's the case if this happens. Yeah, it's tough being with these guys.
Yeah,
it really is.
They like to have a good time. But talk us through your season last year and your rehab. You were able to avoid surgery. What kind of things were you doing to get yourself in the position that you're in right now?
I'd say the beginning of last year, when I kind of really started to get into a role of you know, pitching in that 7th, 8th inning, kind of got rolling. It's been the case with my career. I really haven't been able to get used to one role for too long. But, you know, I'd say in the beginning of May, things kind of started creeping up on me as far as, you know, the forearm struggling a little bit. And then when I had to shut it down in June, try to do everything possible to get back, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to do so.
I got to ask you, Tyler, with Jonathan Broxton out there, a couple of Georgia boys together here, and you had told me last week you're just getting to know Broxton. Well, how's that relationship going, and is it a difference maker a little bit to have somebody from your own home state here? You know, bottom line, that family-friendly bonding going on. Oh,
the relationship's definitely blooming, that's for sure. No, he's been good. We've talked a good bit lately. Just a great guy. And we also have Will Smith down there, another Georgia guy.
Oh, we're filled with Georgia. Georgia on my mind today with Tyler Thornburg. Well, listen, I don't know if there's any sunflower seeds left down there, but you're going to be...
Did he know that Georgia State beat Baylor today in the tournament? I would imagine
did. They really?
Right? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they did.
3 seed got beat by the 14th seed, Georgia State, so congratulations.
That's 2, right?
Yeah, that's 2. Yep.
Goodness.
2 14s over 3, so... We've got any other sports you want to cover with us?
Yeah.
You're good, man. Hey, great. Thanks for being on, and nice job today, okay?
Of course, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Tyler Thornburg, who got the start today for Mike Fiers. Gave up a couple of runs, but got himself out of some trouble early in this game and looked pretty strong. As he said, really nothing too hard hit besides that home run. So... Good to see him back, and hopefully he can get back in that role.
Such a big loss last year with how good he was early in the season, and not to have him for most of the year. But the Brew bullpen able to pick up those innings. Good to see Tyler back and healthy again.
Well, for Jonathan Broxton, a runner at first, 1 down, and top of the order in Nori Aoki. And you just really, for some of these guys like Thornburg that run into a situation where he's pitching so well, and as he has also mentioned, you know, he was fortunate enough to, you know, miss that Tommy John type surgery, have it be real serious, and get the rest. And get good medical attention by the Brewers staff and be ready to go here this spring.
Yeah, you better be sure that that's a last resort. I mean, surgery. I mean, and he did kind of be able to get through it with some rehab in the offseason. Just hope he's going to be able to stay healthy, because when he is, he's pretty good.
So Joe panicked now with 2 down. He hit the home run off Thornburg. That was back in the 3rd inning. Jonathan Broxton, of course, who's right now going to be that setup guy for Francisco Rodriguez. It's interesting talking to Broxton, this spring about his role. He said, he was not caught off guard at all about the Brewers re-signing K-Rod. He said the Brewers told him at the end of last season, as the runner goes, ball hit to left, that's something that was a top priority for the team. And he's okay with being the setup guy again, as he's done the last couple of years with the Reds. So he gets through the 4th inning here. It's still 2-0 San Francisco. Scoreboard, the Brewers a 2-0 deficit to the Giants, still looking for their first hit of the ball game. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. Bottom of the 4th we go from Maryvale. Giants and Brewers here this afternoon. Great crowd. Sellout under partly cloudy skies. It was a rainy morning, but it's nice that it cleared out for baseball here in spring training. Vogelsong still on the mound. Ryan Braun still looking for his first hit of the spring. 0 for 13 officially. Let's see if he can end it here and get the Brewers their first hit of the ball game.
Yeah, speaking of Menards, we're going to have our Menards big money moment again in our post-game show.
Oh, looking forward to that.
I like that segment.
I do too. That's because you're on it.
Yeah, that's your off segment in the post-game show,
That's
right?
when I slide out stage right.
Hit the men's room, and 4 minutes later, you're back.
Only 4.
Is that all it is?
Braun lines one hard but foul down the left field line.
I usually get a wrap it up from the pre and post game producer when we start getting going, me and Augie and Davey.
You guys can go.
I'm going to incorporate you in that a little bit more this coming year. You have a lot to add.
Well, I think that being actually in the frame would help. I don't want to be off frame.
Well, with me and Augie and Davey, you can't fit in the frame.
I know it. There's the first base hit for Ryan Braun down the left field line. First hit of the spring for Braun. First hit of the game for Milwaukee. Right on cue here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And leadoff single.
And the first jab from Craig Kashan. There you go. One of many for Ryan Braun. Nice short stroke. Able to get on top of that pitch. Fastball out away from him and rips it into left field. Skunk out of the box for Brony.
There you go. Ryan Braun, 31 years old as he enters the 2015 season. And Aramis Ramirez. Let's see if they can make this 1-2 punch go here in the spring training game. Ramirez flew out to center his first trip up. Long-time Major League veteran for Ramirez. Fly ball just into foul territory. A nice catch by Maxwell. That ball kept floating away out of fair territory, and he made a nice diving catch.
Yeah, he went a long way for that baseball. That was a nice catch. Not sure he was going to be able to get there, but able to get to it. He got down a little bit lower to give him some more time to get there. Nice sliding catch in foul turf. That'll be a guy that perhaps will get some playing time with the absence of Hunter Pence in the first month of the year.
Here's Adam Lind. He struck out looking his first time up against Vogelsong.
All right, check him out. He's playing relatively deep with Ramirez at the plate. And nice running catch, able to haul it in for the first out.
Okay.
Maxwell having a good all-around day. He's been on base a couple of times, scored a run. Nice catch there. So Lind, strong storyline today for him as he's physically at first base for a second consecutive game for the first time this spring. Big numbers at Toronto last year, 321. 6 home runs and 40 RBIs, but that batting average up there is really what caught Doug Melvin's attention. And this one hit hard straight away center field, but Blanco doesn't have to move very far.
He's got a nice short stroke, a very good low ball hitter. Stays on the baseball well. Hit a home run a few days ago. I think it was about 4 or 5 days ago. It was actually against the Cubs.
It was his first day DH'd.
Yeah, no, nice short stroke and not going way back and right. No question that he's going to be able to hit. The only issue that he's been having, you can see how long that bat stays in the hitting zone with that nice short stroke. He's got to be able to stay on the field. No DH in the National League, so he's going to have to be able to play first base, and hopefully that back's going to be able to allow him to do that.
Here's Maldonado catching today. Braun's over at first with 2 down. Little tapper foul. And a fun thing that we don't know is going to happen yet, but you get a good feeling about it, is to see how that nice short stroke you were talking about, how that ball's going to launch into the seats in right field at Miller Park for Adam Lind.
Now, he played in a pretty good home run park in Toronto.
Yep.
Boy, that team could hit some home runs. That group. The Rogers Center.
I think last year for him too, with all the power that the Blue Jays had, having that batting average way up for him especially was a real good positive sign that he doesn't have to hit the home runs to be successful. Maldonado lays a bunt down. Vogelsong makes a nice play for the final out. Maldonado trying to catch that Giant defense off, but bunt didn't go where he wanted it to. And we head to the 5th inning. It's 2-0 San Francisco. Miller Lite What's on Tap, brought to you by Miller Lite. Now in the original can, it is Miller time, and our upcoming TV schedule. We're on March 25th against the Athletics, and then March 28th against the Indians, and March 31st against the Reds. Plenty more Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin yet to come here this spring, as you take a look at another sellout crowd here and watching Chris Perez. Numbers from a year ago, his non-roster invitee with the Brewers right now, trying to make this Brewer bullpen, and so far he's having a pretty decent spring.
Yeah, it's crowded down there in the bullpen. 6th appearance already for Perez. 5 in the 3rd innings, give up a couple of runs. He's had a long career. Most of his success came as a Cleveland Indian. Tons of saves. Had a 39 save season with the Indians.
So he starts the 5th inning, does Perez, facing Brandon Belt. Jimenez and Jason Rogers come into that Brewer infield defensively. Jimenez over at third for Ramirez, and Rogers takes over for Lind at first base. Oh, it's just starting, Rock, isn't it? Here we go. Big cut and a miss. Perez, a big right-hander, 6'4", 225, throwing off that mound. Got the long locks underneath that Brewer cap.
Yeah, 2012 he had 39 saves for the Indians. Last year was with the Dodgers. 49 appearances and a 427 earned run average. All 47 appearances, I should say 49 appearances out of the bullpen. Save seasons of 23, 36, 39, and 25 in 4 years with the Cleveland Indians. Good work.
And according to his non-roster invitee contract that he signed with the Brewers, they have until March 31st to decide what to do with Perez. And, you know, one of the things that he had said this week is his biggest advantage right now for him is if he is pitching well enough. He's got the big league experience behind him.
Yep, somebody else is taking a look at him if there's no room for Perez with the Brewers. Yeah, basically fastball slider for Chris Perez. He's got good movement and well located down in the strike zone. Right there to get Brandon Belt.
Called strike 3.
He might have been down, might have been in, but Trip Gibson, the home plate umpire, rings him up. I like that strike zone.
That would move a game along, wouldn't you think?
Yes, it would. Get guys swinging up there.
Here's Maxwell, his 3rd plate appearance of the game. Base hit, scored a run for the Giants as well. Also made a nice catch last half inning when the Brewers were up to bat. Perez quickly ahead, 2 strikes.
That's the one thing about Perez. I mean, these veteran guys that have closed games, they don't mess around too much. They throw strikes. Got ahead of Maxwell with a good slider.
Called strike 3. So Perez making a statement here. And Trip Gibson.
Now check out Maldonado setting up right on the outside corner. Does he even move the glove? He does not. Little late movement on that 2-seamer to get his man. That's a nasty slider.
Hector Sanchez swings and misses.
That's the thing about guys like Perez. If there's no room in this Brewers roster, there's 29 other teams out there that are watching what he's doing out here on the field.
Slow roller, and Rogers takes it, and what a efficient inning it turns out to be for Chris Perez. 1, 2, 3, including a couple of called strikes. Bottom of the 5th we go. It's 2-0 here in Cactus Practice. This week NASCAR makes its only trip to Southern California this year for the Auto Club 400, sponsored by KFC. Then Sunday, March 29th, it's a history-making event in Martinsville for the first Sprint Cup points ever race, broadcasted here on Fox Sports 1. Don't miss any of the action on Fox Sports 1, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. A lot of good things happening in our live telecast here today. Brewers trail the Giants in Maryville. Chris Perez looking very, very strong. 3 up, 3 down, including a couple of called strike threes. And before he hits the dugout, he says, Martin Maldonado, nice job, my friend behind the plate.
Yeah, good job with that first pitch slider. You call it, you go right to it. That's when it's most effective. And pitchers just love throwing to Maldonado. It gives you that good target. He spreads out, gives you that good target with the glove. And good to see Chris Perez appreciating his work.
There's Hector Gomez to lead off the Brewer half of the 5th.
Go Pack.
Go Pack. How about that? Here we go.
Jeremy Jeffress knows how to make fans.
What was that he was holding up? Besides the logo. Oh, what a nice play over at short. And they just get Gomez. Well, Crawford had an error earlier in this game and makes up for it there at the dandy play.
Yeah, Crawford with 21 errors last year, one of the most in all of baseball, but this is what he can do for you. He's got a terrific throwing arm. Gets it, turns around, and throws a strike to first. Sensational play by Brandon Crawford. Pitching and defense, that's what it's all about for this Giants ball club. That's the way it's been for a few years now.
Well, they've got a tough ballpark to hit out of. There's no doubt about that. There's some big-time deep alleys, especially in right center, and with that playing night games there in the Bay. But their pitching has been on. And this time Long beats the throw. Paddock knocked it down.
That should be a base hit. We'll see how they score it, but Paddock going a long way, knocked it down, and Long reaches.
That is a base hit.
No doubt. Official scorer Mike Vasallo.
Mikey's working today?
He is. And there's no professional wrestlers in town. At the ballpark.
He can focus.
Yeah. The honky tonk man. Here last week.
I saw him. He's got a look. Did you ever have the big chops like that?
I couldn't.
No?
No, wouldn't work.
I suppose not. Here's Jason Rogers, who took over at first base for Adam Lind in the top half of this inning. Makes his first plate appearance of the ball game. He's got Matt Long over at first with one down. Brewers trail 2-0. There's Mike Vassallo. He's got the media press box microphone in front of him, of course, and he's on his cell phone. Long goes, throw down to second is not in time as the ball is dropped out there by Crawford. Couldn't handle the bounce. So Long with a stolen base in scoring position.
Yeah, quick feed by Sanchez. Throw a little bit low. Had that ball not been short hopped, might have gotten it out, but whether Crawford had the ball in his glove or not didn't matter. It looked like Long had it beat.
Vogelsong has only allowed 2 base runners at second base so far in this game. Long is the second one. It's been a good spring training game for him so far. 67 pitches as he's here in the 5th.
All right, next time through, you might see the Brewers starters try to go 5. Kyle Loesch. After Jimmy Nelson gets a start. Is he starting tomorrow, Jimmy? He's due.
I believe he is.
Yes, he is. Against Trevor Cahill. Arizona Diamondbacks here at the ballpark tomorrow.
That'll be a big start for Nelson as well, as he tries to take those necessary steps in progression through spring. Got hit in his last time out. This one to second. And Panic takes the out at first as the runner Long moves to third with 2 down. Here's Gomez now, the top of the order for Milwaukee. Carlos drew a walk back in the 3rd. 0 for 1 officially in this spring training game. Gomez a couple of home runs and 6 RBIs so far this spring. Swings at a high fastball. Ron Renicky looks on outside the Brewer dugout. Had his contract extended through the 2016 season this morning. It's a bit of good news for the Brewer manager. Brewers picking up the option. Kind of helps security with everybody, players and manager, through not only this year but next year as you look at it.
I think it's important, players know that the organization has committed to Ron, and why wouldn't they? I mean, Ron's been a good manager. He's had success here in Milwaukee. They'll extend him another year, and that certainly helps that clubhouse atmosphere.
A lot of the veteran guys like Lucroy, Ramirez, Braun, Frankie Rodriguez all saying, his greatest asset is communication, and he respects you, and that's what the players want and feel most with this club.
Relies heavily on what the veteran players think about things. Routinely will call them into the office and ask them their opinion on different issues, and he will ultimately have the last say, but he does want to solicit their opinions on a lot of different issues.
He is a manager that is in control of his players. There's no question about that. And they respect that. Gomez fouls another one back.
I think you'd call him a players type manager when you talk about that communication and that open door policy. But still has the respect of his players that, when he's not a guy that's going to go crazy in the clubhouse a lot. But when he has something to say, he'll close the doors and say what he wants to say.
And Gomez draws another walk.
Hey, Carlos taking a couple of close pitches for ball 4 each of the last 2 times up.
That brings out Bruce Bochy, and that's going to be the end of the day for Ryan Vogelsong, who had a very good outing here today.
75 pitches. That's the most we've seen by any pitcher so far this spring. That's a good outing.
And you can hear the fans, the Giant fans that are here, and there's plenty of them, appreciating the effort by the veteran pitcher here today. He leaves with the lead, 2-0. 2 on board right now for Milwaukee with 2 down. Maryvale, bottom of the 5th, 2 outs for the Brewers, 2 runners aboard, and the Giants changing pitchers. They're going to bring in George Contos now in place of Ryan Vogelsong, who pitched 4 2/3. Very strong baseball here for the Giants, and that's a big reason why they are up 2-0. So let's see what the Brewer hitters can now do against the Giants bullpen here in this spring training game.
Yeah, Contos, his 6th appearance. He's got an earned run average over 5 down here in spring training. 24 games with the Giants last year. All out of the bullpen. A 4-0 record and an earned run average under 3. So good work out of George Contos last year.
Right-handed Contos against the left-handed hitting Scooter Jeanette. And the Brewers on the move. And a stolen base out there at second is Gomez. Ends up swiping second base.
They try to pick off throw over to third, and good heads-up base running over there by Gomez. No surprise, Carlos doing something like that. Always ready to take an extra base.
It's the second time in the limited spring training games that I've seen here in the last couple of weeks that I have seen an opposing pitcher trying to pick a Brewer off at third base.
Well, the Brewers have been known to be very aggressive on the bases. Not sure I'd try it with 2 outs, but now 2 men in scoring position. Scooter with an opportunity to tie it up.
Jeanette slow roller to first. And that's going to retire the Brewers here in the 5th inning. We are through 5 here in Maryvale, and the Giants own a 2-0 lead over Milwaukee.
of the 6th inning. What do Cowboys, Jedi, and Harry Doyle have in common? Well, they're all coming to Miller Park in 2015. Tickets for this season's theme nights, which include Country Night, Star Wars Night, Major League Night, and more, on sale now at thebrewers.com/special events. What do Cowboys, Jedi, and Harry Doyle have in common? Now you know. Harry Doyle's always at Miller Park.
All the time.
Neil Cott's on here. He needs a good outing here in spring training. He's been roughed up, having some control problems last year with the Texas Rangers. 73 appearances and a .432 earned run average. Cott's in his 5th appearance in spring training.
And the Brewers signed him to a pretty lucrative free agent deal to come over here from the Texas Rangers to be a left-handed specialist out of that bullpen. And boy, his storyline for what Neil Kotz has gone through over the last several years to try to get back in the majors after going through several injuries, including 3 hip surgeries. And he finally was able to land a chance to pitch with the Texas Rangers a couple of years ago, and enough to get to a point now where he can sign a free agent contract with the Brewers and establish himself as in a crowded yet very competitive and good and productive bullpen right now.
And the Brewers like him against right-handers as well. Cott's 35 years old. Looking to replace Zach Duke down in that bullpen. Those are some big shoes to fill.
I think where we were a year ago with Zach Duke, had no idea that was going to work out so well for Milwaukee.
Yeah, he was a non-roster guy, Zach. Yeah. In 2013, Neil Kotz had a 1.11 earned run average in 58 games for the Texas Rangers. That's incredible.
And he gets the strikeout on Blanco. Maldonado doing a nice job behind the plate.
Yep, slider off the plate, and Maldonado smothers it.
There's Crawford batting for the 3rd time in the game. And Neil Kotz was telling me last week how he's really enjoyed this spring training with the Brewers. He said it's a relaxed yet energetic clubhouse. And he said he hasn't seen one like that, one where he is this comfortable, since 2004. And that was with the White Sox, the year that they won the World Series. And he said he felt it, and a lot of guys felt it in spring training that year.
Well, there you go. Well, the Brewers, one of the reasons why they were so competitive all season long was because of their bullpen. Pitching staff pretty much solid all season long. And as we mentioned, Neil Kotz looking to replace Zach Duke, who signed a 2-year contract with the White Sox.
As it all turned out.
There's an irony.
The small world you bring up, Rock. Who needs college basketball when you can get information like that about baseball?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And keep an eye on Troy Tulowitzki on opening day.
I'm telling you, I am going to hold you to that.
Make sure he's in that batter's box.
There's Arias.
Well, you heard what David Ortiz said about that.
What'd he say?
He says, I'm not going to stay in the box. They're going to find me. I'm going to run out of money, but I'm going to be rolling. I'm going to be getting out of the batter's box.
Yeah, I've heard that storyline a few times. That's a sign of the salaries are too high right there.
That's a sign of a guy that is on the tail end of his career, right? I guess David Ortiz can get away with saying that. He's one of the rock stars of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Maybe the fines are going to have to increase. That'll put him out earlier, right?
Hey, you get 3 free ones. You get three free warnings each game if you're getting out of the batter's box. The 4th one you get fined. I'm not sure how much it is.
$500.
Is that what it is? 500?
You could afford $500.
That's like a quarter to you and I for David Ortiz. Plug a parking meter.
Well, we'll be tracking it all, that's for sure. That's the beauty of the new year, too, is Maldonado took the punishment on that one.
That foul ball got him, and Crawford on the move.
Yeah, Neil Kotz, he had the 3 hip surgeries I mentioned, and that followed the Tommy John surgery, and he did not pitch in between any of those surgeries. He had to get through all of that.
Yeah, missed 2010, 2011, 2 seasons.
Crawford on the move. High pop straight back over the top of us and out of the ballpark. I asked Kotz, I said, how did you get through it? And he said, well, I felt healthy enough to keep going. He said, my arm felt good. And he said, my wife really pushed me. She said, if you're going to go for it, give it your 100% and make it happen.
Yeah, good advice.
And he did.
It does not hurt that he's left-handed.
No, that's always a bonus.
Hey, guys can have nice long careers if you can get lefties out.
Now, if you think about what Kotz was able to do, the one thing that, among the many that he'll bring to this ball club is the fact that he has won a World Series. But, when you talked to him about it, he says, man, that was 11 seasons ago. Think about that. Back in 2004. And this pitch misses inside, so a walk for Arias, and that'll bring up Perez, who hits in the number 9 spot now.
Just trying to get his work in and feel comfortable out there in the mound. Kotz has not had too many clean innings. It has been a struggle for him out there so far.
Kotz will turn 36 next week. First and second, 1 out here in the Giants' half of the 6th inning. The new Brewer left-hander out of the bullpen, Neil Kotz, on the mound. We've been talking a little bit about how some of these relievers are going to fit in or potentially not fit in. You think the Brewers will go with 7 in the bullpen. You figure 6 are secure with Rodriguez, Broxton, Smith, Kotz pitching now, Brendan Kitzler and Jeremy Jeffress. Is this one into right field, a base hit, and they'll hold the runner at third. So bases loaded, 1 out against Kotz now.
Yeah, in defense of Neil Kotz, a lot of the base hits that he's allowed have been just like that. Little jam shots, that one dumping in front of Peterson out and right. Not too many hard hit balls off of him, but he is getting a little bit too much of the plate up in the zone, and that's why some of those weakly hit baseballs are dropping into the outfield. Roberto Kelly, the new third base coach.
Well, not taking any early chances here. This one right back to Kotz. Maldonado And over to first, Rogers. And you like that double play. 1, 2, 3. And that's going to be the best friend today for Neil Kotz. That double play. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, our Diggers Hotline scoreboard. Whatever the tool, whatever the project, know what's below Diggers Hotline. Back in Maryvale, mostly cloudy skies here this afternoon. And Neil Kotz got himself in trouble. Bases loaded, 1 down. He induces the 1, 2, 3 double play.
Aoki, a comebacker, 1, 2, 3, gets out of the inning. That's a nice pitch. A first pitch slider. Aoki tried to pull it, and Kotz out of the inning unscathed. Got to be able to get lefties out. That's going to be imperative for Neil Kotz this year.
So Logan Schaefer will lead things off for the Brewers here in the 6th inning. He came in replacing Ryan Braun, who got his first hit of the spring, by the way. Good positive note for Braun. However, the Brewers here, no offense against Giants pitching so far. George Canto stays on. He came on to get the final out of the 5th inning, so he stays here in the 6th and faces Schaefer. Spring training numbers for Logan Schaefer at 167. For a while there, it appeared Schaefer would be a lock to be in a utility role for that Brewer outfield, but he's had a tough time the last couple of years staying healthy. If he can't stay healthy, it's tough to produce.
Yep, early on in spring had pink eye. But he's had some nice games down here in spring training. Probably the best of all of them as far as defensive play in the outfield. Can play all over, you know, center, right, left.
And of course, with Parra coming in and that trade last year with Arizona, Brewers' top 4 outfielders are basically starters.
Right. And Parra can play all 3 outfield spots, and he's working out at first base.
Right. Schaefer, a little floater to left field. And Aoki takes care of it for the first out. Here's Jimenez. So Luis Jimenez gets his first at bat here of today's game. Came in for Ramirez in the 5th inning. Seen a lot of action in this 2015 spring training. big ovation as the ball here in most of these ballparks gets bounced around in foul territory. You get a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. Not too many empty seats today here at the ballpark.
Jimenez at 240 here in spring training. Couple of RBIs. Another versatile player that competing for a utility spot. He can play first, third, and the corner outfielders as well. Down a ball and 2 strikes to Contos. 2-2. It's one thing we've seen, Rock, over the last 2 or 3 years. You got to be versatile to come off the bench.
Oh, no doubt.
You can't be a one-trick pony.
Well, especially if your team has 12, 13 pitchers. I mean, you have to have some versatility on that bench. Back 10, 15 years ago when, or maybe even longer than that, maybe 20 years ago, when teams would break spring training with 5 starters, 5 relievers. I mean, you could be a specialist on the bench, but not too much today. And Jimenez, who can even catch if need be.
It's always good to stick in your back pocket a catcher's mask.
Yeah.
Good eye at the plate. 3-2. He draws it full.
This is it.
Brewers with just 5 wins so far here this spring. The Giants just 4.
Guarding. How many pitches? 20.
They'd like the final couple of weeks of spring training to tune it up a notch or 2 or 3. That's for sure. And Sanchez needs a moment or 2. He got punished on that foul tip.
Contos with a look like something a little cutter, and Jimenez just able to get a piece of it, and he got a piece of the catcher. No need to tell you where it got him.
Nope. Sometimes replay just isn't as beautiful as you think, is it?
Look away.
Sanchez getting the catching duties today. Of course, Buster Posey, the All-Star MVP. They're kind of targeting Posey for what, maybe about 120 games behind the plate again this year, would you think?
And play some first base, interleague play DH. Yeah, so they're looking at a couple of guys, Anthony Susak and Hector Sanchez as the second catcher. Yep, foul tip and a backswing got him in the hand with the bat, so double jeopardy. Bruce Bochy knows how that all feels. It's happened to him a few times.
He's ready.
Another former catcher in the managerial role.
Right.
Either manager or you announce, right?
Right.
There's 2 choices after retirement.
Got to do something. You can't get out of the game. Got to stay in there. It's too fun.
All right, here's the 3-2 to Jimenez, and he fouls another one back. Good battle at the plate. Santos delivers. This one hit high and hard left field. Will it stay fair? And it is foul. Boy, not by much. Jimenez really nailed that one.
Yes, he did. He's got packs a little punch in that bat. Well, it just did hook foul as it got out to the foul pole.
That one he just jumped out in front of a little bit. The wind certainly didn't carry it. There's really nothing happening outside here right now. It's a cool day for Phoenix. We start about 60 degrees.
Yeah.
And he swings and misses. Good battle at the plate. And it's won by the pitcher, Contos.
Yeah, a little over aggressive after that long foul ball. Contos elevates one, and Jimenez chases one out of the strike zone.
So here's Shane Peterson. And not before he sees a new pitcher. Ty Block is going to come in for the Giants. Contos exits. And he'll face Peterson when we come back here to Maryvale. It's 2-0 Giants. Bottom of the 6, 2 outs here in Maryvale. New pitcher, his Block comes in now for the Giants, and he will face Shane Peterson, who makes his first plate appearance. Base is empty for the Brewers. It's been a quiet day offensively for the home team.
Yeah, Shane's hitting .300 this spring. We've got 2 Petersons, one with SON, one with SEN. This is the SON. You see Ty Block last year in Double-A. Good numbers, 8-8 with a .313 earned run average. Not a big strikeout guy. 91 strikeouts in 141 innings.
One the count to Peterson. He came in and replaced Ryan Braun in right field. Defensively, took the spot of Adam Lind in the batting order. So he's in the number 5 hole. Brock mentioned a good spring for both Petersons, whether you spell it E-N or O-N so far. They both had good springs.
Yeah, both pretty good in the outfield. Both Petersons has some pop in their bats, some power.
And he strikes out. So a strikeout to end the 6th inning. Peterson goes down. And we go to the 7th now here at Maryville when we come back. Here at Maryville, it's 2-0 Giants. Our game summary brought to you by Hupy and Abraham, Wisconsin's largest personal injury law firm. Giants 2 runs in the 3rd inning off Tyler Thornburg. The big blow was a panic home run. And Vogelsong on the mound for the Giants. Pitched a gem here today, pitched into the 5th inning. Gave up only 2 hits, and those are the only 2 hits the Brewers have been able to muster off of San Francisco pitching. Rob Woot now on the hill for Milwaukee here in the 7th.
Yeah, his numbers last year, but Wooten has been outstanding. I mean, he's been next to perfect. His 5th appearance today, he's gone 7 innings, given up only 4 hits, no walks and 8 strikeouts. And Wooten trying to secure a spot in that very crowded Brewers bullpen.
And he faces Joe Panik to lead off the 7th for the Giants. It was the Panik home run that's really been the difference maker of this game. It was a solo home run that broke a scoreless tie early. This one hit well, and Schaefer in center gets underneath it for the first out here in the 7th.
Yeah, Wooten has really been throwing a lot of strikes, getting ahead in the count. I know it's an old cliche, but Wooten's been able to get ahead in the count with 2 different pitches. That fastball that's got some good downward movement on it, the slider. He's also got that split-fingered fastball to put away hitters with 2 strikes. He's done everything he's could possibly do to win a job in this bullpen. We'll see how it turns out.
Brandon Belt into left. This one hit well to the wall, and it leaves the ballpark. So a solo home run by Brandon Belt off of Rob Wooten, and it's 3-0 Giants.
Well, and the margins are so thin for a guy like Wooten, whether he's going to make it or not, and those hurt. And Wooten, early in the count, there comes a fastball right down the middle of the plate, and Brandon Belt with tremendous opposite field power takes this one out of here to left, giving the Giants a 3-0 lead. 7th hit for San Francisco.
And Matt Duffy now the pinch hitter. One down for the Giants. A run is in.
Yeah, Duffy in the pitcher's spot in the batting order. So Bruce Bochy pulling the old double switch here in spring training.
How about that?
I like that.
Never taking a rest. Well, Wooten in that battle, as you mentioned, in that bullpen, and last year he was the last player cut out of spring training as the Brewers decided to keep Wei Chung Wang. And Wooten does not want that to happen again. Did well when he was summoned up from the minors last season.
Well, and if not, he's going to go down to the minor leagues. One of the things that's going against Wooten, he's got 2 options left. You get, in one season, you can bring a guy up and down as many times as you want in an organization, but you do that 2 years in a row, and finally you do that, you're out of options. And if you send a guy down with no options, another team can pick him up. But he's got 2 left, which could be very well a consideration for Wooten making the team or not.
That's the part of the game you got to play. It's not always who deserves to be there, because you could be in the multiple player position with only one spot there, but then you have to look at what's best for the club as well.
Right, long term.
This one fair ball, nice play, Jimenez, and it got him over at first.
That's a nice play.
Close play.
That's a real good play. That might have been a replay in the regular season. Adrian Johnson over at first base. I think that's Adrian. Check it out, going back right down the line and flat-footed, makes a good throw to first. I would imagine Bruce Bochy would have asked for a replay on that one. Pretty close, but the Brewers get the call.
Sanchez, a little pop-up in the infield, and Rogers takes care of it, and a home run given up. But overall, a decent inning for Wooten. Here as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Download MLB.com at bat and follow the Brewers from your mobile device with live look-ins, replays, scoring updates, insider content, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today, free for your smartphone or tablet, and keep up with the crew all season long. You know, those guys got it on their smartphones. Everybody does now. Good crowd on hand here in Maryvale to watch the Giants and the Brewers. Brewers offense still has some time here to get things going as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Martin Maldonado will lead things off against Gene Machi, who's coming in now to pitch in the 7th inning for Bruce Bochy's Giants. Numbers from a year ago looking very strong. 71 appearances, a 7-1 record, and an ERA just over 2.5.
Another split-fingered fastball guy. I mean, not too many bullpens better than the Giants. I guess the only one that can put it in contention would be that Kansas City bullpen, and there was your World Series teams last year.
Fly ball left field. I should say right field. And there's your first out. Got to bring up Hector Gomez. Started the game at short today for Milwaukee. Gomez was robbed of a base hit back in the 5th inning by Brandon Crawford. He made a tremendous stop deep in the hole and a picture-perfect throw. This time it's short. And Gomez, another nice play out there.
Wow.
This time it's Adrian.
That's a heck of a play right there. These young kids, I tell you, they have some throwing arms. Look at this play. Backhand, he knew he had the arm to get the out. It looked like effortless. I mean, just a frozen rope over to first base. Adrianza.
Smooth and fluid. Here's Matt Long. Long in a base hit back in the 5th, also a stolen base, but was stranded at 3rd. He's been Milwaukee's only base runner to reach 3rd base today. So the Brewers continue to evaluate talent. Who's going to be that 5th outfielder? Another big question mark, too, is a guy like Clark right now, Matt Clark, whose bat has been good and is really a first baseman by trade. Can they afford to go with 2 utility infielders and then have him be your bat off the bench? Long hits this one a long way, and this one is out of the park. Just left of the batter's eye. Long with a home run, his 2nd of the spring.
At dead center field. Well, Machi gets one down in the strike zone, and these left-handed hitters like the ball down. Take it out. Down and going away from, just waits back and gives it a ride. Nice and quiet with the feet, and that bat stays in the hitting zone a good long time and knocks it out of here, so the Brewers on the board. That's a nice swing.
Home run number 2 on the spring for Long. That brings up Pete Orr.
And Long's got 2 of the 3 hits by the Brewers today.
This is Jason Rogers batting. Orr is on deck. So the Brewers get on the board for the first time today. Just when you start talking about other names potentially making the ball club, then Long says, what about me?
Yeah.
Look at the spring I've had.
Doesn't say much. He lets his bat do his talking, right?
Batting over 300 and showing off the power.
That's the way you want to do it.
Rogers has gotten plenty of opportunities here in the spring to show his stuff as well. .412 the spring batting average for Rogers. Couple of RBIs.
Got some good opposite field power, gap power into right center. Plays 3rd, plays 1st.
This one hit well right field. Perez going back at the wall and makes the catch. And Brewers hitting the ball well here in the 7th inning. They do get the home run from Matt Long and get on the board. We are through 7, and the Giants are out in front 3-1. As Long taking it the other way for his second spring training home run.
Upgrade.
We move to the 8th inning here at Maryvale. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Milwaukee Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers and Craig Kashan.
There you go. Thanks for reading that, by the way.
Well, I can tell you we're kind of analyzing the field and figuring out who's out there. We got some changes, and I didn't want to mess you up. Figured I'd help you out.
Well, I need more time than what you gave me. Let's put it that way.
It's a lot easier to do those reads than it is to figure out who's playing.
I've got some of them down for this inning, but not all of them at this point. And this one floats into right field for a base hit. Gary Brown, the batter for the Giants. These are the days where you want that big, beautiful, multi-million-dollar scoreboard from Miller Park in here to help us out. Adrianza now will bat. He made that nice play at shortstop last half inning.
Ilian Herrera's out and right, so he's getting some work in the outfield. There's Ilian. Looks like Maldonado might be catching 9 today. Is he still in there?
He is still in there. Herrera got plenty of opportunities helping the Brewers out last season in a utility role.
They played some center field in the regular season.
We think we're up to date on our defensive charts and our lineups. Runner goes. Nice throw from Maldonado as he nails the would-be base stealer in Brown.
How about that throw, huh? I mean, that is about as good as it gets. I mean, not too many guys can throw like this. A good pitch to throw on, and straight as a string, and he's out by 10 feet.
He's fun to watch behind the plate, isn't he?
He is. I mean, the footwork. It's all about the footwork from Martin Maldonado. Footwork is quick, gets on top, and get that good backspin and that true throw to second base. Watch how quickly the feet get in position right here. A little bit of a crow hop. Look at the way the arm is on top and a good follow through. Good weight transfer going forward. And not too many get it down as quickly to second base as Maldonado.
Another great thing for you to break down during our Brewers Live post game, and those are very, very important techniques that especially the guy behind the plate has to get through.
Yeah. You see more and more good throwing catchers these days than you ever have. I mean, these guys can, not only do they have quick releases and strong arms, but they are very accurate to second base. The running game, not what it used to be, and it's because you can talk about home runs and home run production. But the way offense has been down these days, teams would love to run, but because you have so many good throwing catchers, it makes it very difficult. You used to have some good throwing catchers in the National League Central. Maldonado, Lucroy is a very good throwing catcher. Got Molina, had Russell Martin last year. Martin's in Toronto now.
The Pirates will be missing Russell Martin, don't you think?
They will, big time. I think they a lot. I mean, not just what he provides behind home plate, but leadership. And that little bit of edge that Russell Martin used to bring to the ballpark every day for the Pirates. He'll bring that to Toronto.
I think that was a big surprise, because there was no question over the couple of years he spent in Pittsburgh that that's the number one thing that they continue to point to is how this team was able to turn around. You need an entire team. People understand that, but you need one guy that is your leader, and he clearly was for that team.
Absolutely. A.J. Burnett in that starting rotation, he helped those guys. This should be an interesting division this year. Cardinals are going to be good again. Pirates, you figure. Cubs are much improved. And you figure the Brewers, I mean, have every bit of a chance as anybody going forward, as long as they stay healthy.
It's interesting. I know you guys talked to Doug Melvin, the Brewers general manager, on the air last week in one of your telecasts. And one of the things he was telling us as well when we were in, how competitive the Central Division is. If you took the Brewers 82 wins away from the win total of the teams in that division, they'd still have the most wins out of one division in baseball.
Yeah.
And it's going to be even tougher this year, you would imagine.
Yeah, Cincinnati didn't do a whole lot in the offseason, but they expect to have a healthy Joey Votto,
a difference maker.
Jay Bruce, maybe a turnaround season. So Brewers have their work cut out for them. They're going to see a lot of the Central Division in the month of April. Every game in April is going to be against the Central Division, except for the 3 games against the Rockies.
That's a load right off the top, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You're going to see where you stand very quickly.
Brewers will be the opponent of the Cardinals in their home opener on the first road trip for Milwaukee, the second week of the season. Then they go to Pittsburgh right after that. Adam Duvall, the third baseman, now bats with a runner at first and 1 out against Wooten. Probably one of the better statements looking at the Central, saying there are no last place teams this year. Whoever finishes last is just going to end up there. It's not because they're not any good.
Right. I mean, it's very competitive. I mean, the teams are going to be beating up on each other. And it was only 2 years ago where the Central Division had 3 playoff teams, division winner and 2 wild card.
Jimenez to second, the relay in time, and Wooten induces the double play and gets out of any damage here in the 8th inning. It is 3-1 Giants. Now the Brewers go to the bat here in the 8th inning, trailing the Giants 3-1. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Boys and Girls Clubs help young people to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens through programs that promote character and leadership, education, health lifestyles, and more. For more information, visit foxsportssupports.com. Turning out to be a nice day here in Maryvale. The Brewers trying to rally, and now they face Javier Lopez, who comes in out of that Giants bullpen.
Yeah, talking about good bullpen. Lopez from the left side. They have Jeremy Affeldt. So Lopez has been with the Giants for a while now. His 6th season with San Francisco. Good numbers last year, 65 games, and a .311 earned run average. Very tough on left-handed hitters.
He'll face Pete Orr, who makes his first plate appearance of the game. Orr with some nice numbers at AAA Nashville a year ago, batting .301 for Milwaukee. 41 RBIs, 20 doubles.
That good guy to have down in your minor league system. I mean, he can play all over, and in a pinch, he's got some big league time with the Atlanta Braves. That's tough duty for a left-handed hitter against this guy. Kind of that sidearm delivery. That baseball coming at you at an angle, going away from you.
Here's the 2-2 from Lopez. Chop foul. Yeah, Orr spent 3 consecutive years on the big league roster of the Braves back at 05, 6, and 7, and then spent some time with the Nationals in 08 and 09, 2011 with Philadelphia, also 2012 and 13 saw some major league time. And this time he strikes out.
Hey, you hang right in there, and then he gives you this pitch. Comes in on you, not sure it was by design. He missed his spot, but he got the swing.
Going to bring up Ilian Herrera. Herrera took over right field last inning. Now makes his first plate appearance. Spring training numbers for Herrera. Played a lot of roles for the Brewers a year ago. Second, short, third.
Outfield.
Some outfield.
Yep.
This one hit in the gap for Herrera, and there it floats all the way to the warning track. And he will wait at second base with a 1-out double. Just like you saw on the major league level, Herrera coming through with some big hits. This one late one.
Yeah, switch hitter able to go turn around and bat right-handed against Lopez. And although he's tough on right-handers and left-handers, right-handers have more of a shot against him with that sidearm delivery. Goes right with it into the gap out there in the right center. Good at bat.
There's Logan Schaefer. Schaefer did not start today's game, but he's now getting his second plate appearance. Flew out to left back in the 6th inning. This one right back up the middle, base hit to center field. Herrera being waved around, and he will score, and Schaefer comes through with an RBI single here in the 8th inning, and the Brewers are within a run.
Yeah, tough duty against a left-handed pitcher, but watch the way Schaefer keeps that front shoulder closed. It doesn't even move. A pitch away from him, stays right on it. Doesn't try and pull. That's a nice approach for Logan Schaefer, and rewarded with an RBI. So the Brewers now within 1 run, and the go-ahead run at home plate.
There's Luis Jimenez. Second at bat of the game for him, struck out in the 6th. So the guys off the bench trying to stage a late inning rally against a veteran reliever. And Javier Lopez. Check Schaefer over at first. He's a base stealing threat, of course.
Yeah, Schaefer stole 2 bases in 1 game earlier this spring.
He represents the tying run in this game.
See if Jimenez can straighten one of those long foul balls out. Here, give the Brewers a victory or a lead.
Oh, so close his last trip up. This one to short. Second, and the relay is in time. 6-4-3 double play ends the 8th inning, but the Brewers do get a run and are within 3-2.
Here at Maryvale, the Brewers within 1 now with Logan Schaefer's RBI single. Hey, this season the Brewers are launching the strikeout bullying essay contest. Students from across the greater Milwaukee area will be asked to submit a 1-page essay about their school, what their school is doing to strike out bullying. The winning entry will receive a grand prize, which includes a visit from a Brewers player, as well as tickets and transportation to the game.
Werfine Obispo is now in to pitch for Milwaukee here in the 9th inning. A host of replacements. As you take a look at his numbers from the minors a year ago, 4.13 ERA, 45 appearances for Obispo. Big right-hander on the mound. He faces Juan Perez. Perez singled his last time up in the 6th. Hard-throwing right-hander.
That is a big man out there on the mound. Got to get some information on him here. He played in Japan for a few years, 2009 to 2011. Was in AAA Indianapolis last year. 36 games or 26 games all out of the bullpen. From San Pedro de Macorís. That is a shortstop country. A little big for a shortstop.
I was going to say, it does not look like a shortstop, but you all can't play short, right?
In the Braves organization last year.
6'2", 215.
You know, when I said he's probably too big for a shortstop, he was actually drafted and played in the Dominican Summer League as a shortstop.
That's the best storyline right there of the day.
There you go. Hey, you dig deep enough, you better watch what you say up here.
But we find out the proper information.
I mean, if you're from San Pedro to Macorís, at some point you played short.
That's right.
A lot of good ones coming out of there.
So a walk issued to Perez. Jared Parker will now bat for San Francisco. Obispo delivers. Grounder to second. Short, the relays in time. The 4-6-3 double play working for that Brewer infield.
Been a lot of close calls over there at first base. And the Brewers able to get the benefit of the doubt again. Parker trying to beat it. But pretty close. I don't even think on replay they would have overturned that.
That'll bring up Guillermo Quiroz with 2 down. This has been fun since about the 6th inning on. Slow whirler Rogers and the flip over to Obispo. And he does a nice job at his inning of work here in the 9th.
And so have you.
We keep
all
it rolling.
Changes. Nice job.
Not done yet. Game summaries. The Giants have a 3-2 lead over the Brewers as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Milwaukee getting a couple of runs late in this game. The Giants getting 2 in the 3rd early. And a home run by Long for the Brewers in the 7th inning. Got him on the board, and they're within a run. We'll see if they can rally here in the 9th inning. Sergio Romo is going to be on the mound, though, so it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, he lost his closer's job to Santiago Casilla last year. 64 games, a 372 earned run average for Sergio Romo. He was a World Series closer for the Giants a couple of years ago.
Juan Santero will lead off for Milwaukee. And Matt Clark on deck. Centeno took over the catching duties last half inning for the Brewers. Numbers last year at AA and AAA combined in 74 games, 289 average. Brewers have used him quite a bit here this spring, especially early on when Jonathan Lucroy was not able to catch it all as he battled through nursing that hamstring injury.
Yep, Centeno third on the depth chart for Milwaukee in the organization. And Romo in jeopardy of walking the tying run to first base.
There's the strike. 3-1. And another strike in close.
There's that patented slider from Romo. He throws a lot of them, especially against right-handed hitters.
Centeno at 250 here in the spring, trying to get on base. Lines one into right of base, hit down the line. So there's your tying run at first base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the ninth inning.
That was a slider from Romo that stayed in the middle of the plate and doing a nice job staying on it with Centeno and lines it hard into right field. There's your tying run. Well, how about Matt Clark now hitting one out of here? There's a slider out over the plate, and a nice swing puts him on first base.
So Clark on the spring, and he's having a good one at 333. 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. Little chopper foul. And those good-looking numbers so far in the spring for Clark, and it's those kind of numbers plus his major league experience and a good one last year for Milwaukee that Ron Renicky has to say, well, we got to take a look at this guy being a bat off the bench at the very least.
Yeah, and if not, you know, he's a phone call away if, in fact, Adam Lind has a tough time with that back.
Romo looks into Clark. This one outside. Clark asked for his release from the Mets last year. Didn't figure into their plans midway through the season and was able to catch on with the Brewers. And ended up on the major league level with Milwaukee, hitting 3 home runs and 7 RBIs in 16 games.
And showing good patience. Romo staying away from him, trying to keep him in the ballpark. So if you're Matt Clark here, look for something middle in, a mistake, and knock one out of here.
Here's the 3-1. Inside, just got a piece of it. 3-2 now to Clark.
Yeah, don't think you're going to see Centeno taken off. He's not a base stealer for sure.
Clark, a big tall figure in there at 6'5" in that batter's box. This one hit hard center field, and it's going to fall a base hit.
And he was running on the pitch, so Ron Renicky being very aggressive, sending his catcher, give him a head start on a 3-2 count. A nice at bat again for Matt Clark, representing the winning run at first base. Stayed right on that fastball that was trying to get away from him. You can see Centeno taking off, tried to deke him at second, then picks it up and ends up at third base.
Here's Luis Sardinas now, who took over at short late in the game. Brian Peterson now the pinch runner at first for Milwaukee. First pitch misses, a ball from Romo. Brewers trying to rally here. Nobody out in the bottom of the ninth, first and third. Two and 0.
Man, Romo having a difficult time getting ahead in the count. He's been behind everybody.
Brewers were able to get a run off Javier Lopez in the 8th inning and are threatening against Romo here in the 9th. This one is a strike, 2-1. Sardinas came over in that trade with Texas before spring training that sent Giovanni Gallardo to the Rangers. Good looking shortstop.
Yeah, he's got incredible hands and a very strong throwing arm. The Brewers have a number of infielders that can say that. Very deep with young infielders. Got some big league experience from last year.
Yeah, he had 3 stints with the Rangers, batted .261, 43 games in the majors a year ago. Here's the 2-2. Right back to Romo, and they've got the base runner at third. High throw. And now they'll get one out there as Peterson comes around. He'll be the runner at third now with one out for Milwaukee, as Romo made a nice play on the mound.
Yeah, catcher ran him back and tagged him before both runners got to second base. Check it out. I mean, a little bit too aggressive. The only ball on the ground you don't want to go on that play is a one right back to the mound. Now check it out. Catcher in a rundown. He tags him right there on the hand. He gets the out call. I'd the catcher just run them both back, tag them both, and see which one, leaves third base. Sometimes you get a double play out of it.
If they're unaware and both are off the bag.
But he did a nice job staying in the rundown long enough. Now the Brewers are in business at second and third and one out.
So Sardinas at second, and Peterson over there at third. Here's Getz, the batter.
Outfield very, very shallow for the Giants. That's about as shallow as you'll see in outfield in spring training. Infield in, outfield in.
Romo looks in against Getz. Outside.
Yeah, 20 pitches for Romo. That's a lot of pitches in one inning. There is activity in that Giants bullpen, and there's only one out.
Getz making his 6th plate appearance. Does not have a hit yet here in the spring. Half swing, strike. 2-2.
Man, you got to figure out a way to put the ball in play here. The young man knows it better than anybody.
And he struck him out. Going off the plate is Sergio Romo for out number 2.
Yeah, it's going to take a base hit now. Caught in between on every single pitch, a little bit ahead of that slider that was off the outside corner. Just didn't look very comfortable against Romo.
Here's Jason Rogers. Rogers came in the 5th inning, so this is his 3rd plate appearance of the game. 0 for 2 so far. Came into the game with a .412 spring training average. So he's due.
Hit one hard to the wall and right his last time up.
Outside from Romo. Count is even. (3-2) Giants lead here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 2 down. Runners at 2nd and 3rd for Milwaukee. That winning run out at 2nd in Sardinas. Just missing. 2 balls and 1 strike. 25 pitches now here in the 9th inning for Romo. Peterson at 3rd. He was a pinch runner for Clark. Sardinas out at 2nd base for Milwaukee. Rogers can't check it. 2-2.
Just a tough pitch to lay off of or try to get a beat on. That slider looks like it stops right before he gets to home plate and then breaks.
Crowd on their feet. A lot of Giants fans and, of course, Brewer fans here. Brewer fans are on their feet for the rally to be complete. Giants fans want the final out from Romo. Good atmosphere here in spring training. This one popped up in the infield. And this will do it as the Giants hang on. In a well-played spring training game here today, Romo gets the spring training save as his Giants top the Brewers here this afternoon. 3-2 is the final score. Bench guys rally, but come up just a bit short. We'll wrap it up when we come back.